Well, what do you know? Another day, another James Harden trade rumor. Today we'll get the latest from Shams on the situation. We'll dive into whether a deal could actually happen before camp, as well as other NBA intel right here on Philly Take with RB.
Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? RB here. Welcome into the show. Like always, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, ring the bell. Don't miss any of the content. If and when a Harden trade goes down, we will be the first to break it down right here on this show. Today we're back in, what do you know? Another trip on the go-around. Another trip, number 6,287 on the James Harden trade carousel. We got an update from Shams. We'll talk about that. And I want to dive into some other NBA news. Why? Well, one, because the NBA airwaves are dead right now, and two, because I feel like it. So if you don't like it, that's a you problem. Nah, I'm just kidding. But anyway, we will dive into all of it, man. We'll get into the latest scoop. But I want to ask the people out there, do you think James Harden will be a Sixer by the time training camp starts? I put out a poll earlier today, both on Twitter and on YouTube community. If you're not following me on Twitter, you might as well go do that right now. And we had almost 450 votes, and 59% said no, a trade will not get done by the time training camp starts. What do you think? What do you think? We had YouTube community, about 1.3K votes. Will a James Harden trade get done? And 75% say no. So people think James Harden is going to remain a Sixer by the time camp starts next month. Do you think that is a good thing or no? Give me all your thoughts down below in the comment section. And before we jump right into the latest intel, a quick shout out to our partner of today's video, Mint Mobile. Shout out to the partner of today's video, Mint Mobile. If you out there are similar to everyone else in the world who has thought to themselves at one point, why is my wireless bill so high? Then Mint Mobile is for you. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for as low as $15 per month, and you don't have to sacrifice any coverage, speed, or data. They're built on the nation's largest 5G network and keep costs low because they sell directly to you online, cutting out the retail stores and salespeople. Why should you pay more than you have to for access to the same network? You can go and use that money to treat yourself to a Sixers game or even buy a new jersey. All Mint Mobile plans include unlimited nationwide talk and text plus lightning fast 5G and free mobile hotspot. They even offer super affordable family plans with as little as 2 lines. And switching to Mint is super easy thanks to their digital eSIM cards. You can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your home. And if your phone isn't eSIM compatible, Mint will actually ship you a new SIM card free of charge. The whole process will only take about 15 minutes. And if you get stuck, Mint has a great customer service team to help you through it. So if you are interested in reliable coverage and fast data for a fraction of the cost, go to mintmobile.com/PhillyTake. You can go right down to the description of this video and click the link, or you can scan the QR code on the screen. All right, man, let's get right into it. So like I said, Shams puts out an NBA intel piece. He gives us the latest on everything, given the fact that there's literally been no NBA news for like a week and a half now. Everybody is fiending for some content, and this was the main quote in the section where he talked about James Harden. Here's the update. Listen to this bombshell, ladies and gentlemen. Tap me if you heard this one before. Quote, the Sixers and Clippers are expected to engage again in discussions on a James Harden trade this offseason. League sources who are involved in the discussions but unauthorized to speak on the matter say. What a major bombshell. This is Shams. Thank you so much. This made my week, man. This made my week. It's the fact that, one, he reported this like it was news. I feel like I've heard this same thing about 67 times this offseason. And number two, he says that league sources who are involved in the discussions but unauthorized to speak say. So what, guys directly from the teams? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying that the front offices from the Sixers and Clippers are talking to you, telling you that deal talks will re-engage soon? Okay. So obviously we've heard this before, right? And then a little extra piece on the quote from Shams. He says, Harden still prefers to be moved and Philly is working to honor his wish, which once again, we already know. But the only thing I take away from this is the fact that he said that talks will resume, right? Because what does that mean? Well, according to that wording, it means they stopped. And why did they stop? We already saw that a couple weeks ago, right? the Clippers and their front office and their organization is unwilling to include anybody in a trade. They don't want to include 27-year-old Terrence Mann in a deal to acquire 34-year-old James Harden. What does this mean? Well, it means about three different things. Number one, James Harden does not have any, hungry value from these teams out there. Nobody is dying to get James Harden. Is that because he's a bad player? No, he's a valuable player, and he will be a valuable player to a team. But the main questions always pop back up. Will he be healthy come playoff time? Will he shine in the bright lights in the playoffs? And number three, does he want to go anywhere else than where he wants to go, right? If he goes to the Rockets, just for example, or the Timberwolves, or whatever, the Kings, whoever, right? Is he going to be happy? Is he going to show up, do his job, and play? I mean, we don't know, right? He wants to apparently force his way to the Clippers. There hasn't been much talks lately, especially after the Dame Lillard thing, which Shams reported on today, by the way, as well. No update on the Dame situation. Why? The Heat are not giving the Blazers anything that they like. The Clippers are not giving anything to the Sixers that they like, right? We have more news that we'll get into, but nobody wants to give up anything. And ever since Dame has been, apparently forcing his way to Miami, now the league is involved and these guys don't want to say much. But really the main reports originated from James Harden saying, I want to go to the Clippers. I only want to go to the Clippers. And on top of that, the biggest thing is that he wants to get paid. Now, there were, a few rumors, a few discussions a few days ago saying that, reportedly the Sixers wanted to give Harden a 2-year deal with a player option, which is at the beginning of the offseason what I said they should do. That's what they should offer, in my opinion, a 2-year deal with a second-year player or team option. And apparently James Harden didn't like that. He wants a 4-year deal. He feels that he earned a max, which, when you look at the results, no, I don't think you did. I don't think anybody on the Sixers earned that because they didn't get where they needed to get. And that was due to everybody coming up short in the biggest moment. So, what team is going to pay James Harden? There's too many obstacles here in the way to really think that a Harden deal is going to get done. So based on the recent reporting, based on using our sense and thinking about it, no, I think Harden is going to be here in training camp. But as I've touched on in prior videos, that is a dangerous bridge to walk because if he comes back and he's unhappy and he's not playing now again, you would think about it like, okay, James Harden is going into a 1-year deal. Essentially, he needs to prove himself if he wants to get that contract. So maybe he'll suck it up. Maybe he will defy the prior narratives and show up and be really, really good and maybe be elevated and motivated. But at the end of the day, we just haven't seen that in other situations. So you're getting to a dangerous point where it's almost like a Ben Simmons-like thing where players are going to be affected in the locker room, chemistry-wise. It's a tough situation to be in from both sides. And really, I just don't know if anything's going to happen. And it sucks. It sucks. They are in purgatory right now. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Just like I said, with the Heat, right? The latest reporting, there is no moving with that deal either. Could we see Dame Lillard and Harden both go back to camp with their teams? I mean, it's looking likely right now. We'll see. The other thing that happened today was the Toronto Raptors apparently received a trade package offer from the Atlanta Hawks, which included DeAndre Hunter, AJ Griffin, and draft picks to Toronto for Pascal Siakam. What does this mean for the East? Well, if Atlanta was to do this deal, I do think it would make them a lot better. The Atlanta Hawks seem to be a team, in my opinion, who needs to make a splash move like that, right? They're kind of stuck right now. They're just on the border. They have two really good point guards and shooting guards in DeJounte Murray and Trae Young. Two guys that can really help your team take it to the next level. But what do they need? They need more versatility. They need more size, more length. And Pascal Siakam kind of feels like the perfect guy to complement that, right? We talked about Siakam to the Sixers potentially. I don't see any way it happens given the fact that he and Nick Nurse's relationship didn't seem too strong at the end of the Raptors tenure, as well as the fact that the Sixers don't have anything to offer. And according to all the reports about Siakam this offseason, he wants to go to a team if he does and not sign, right? He wants to be an unrestricted free agent next summer. So it doesn't really feel to me that the Raptors are going to trade him. But if they do, if they decide to say, okay, we're not going to get anything out of him, we're not going to extend him after this year, and they trade him, and Atlanta is willing to try this 1-year thing, try to persuade him to stay, then maybe this would be a really good situation for Pascal Siakam. The problem, though, is when I look at this trade package, DeAndre Hunter, AJ Griffin, and draft picks, that's not going to get it done, right? We've heard all these different trade scenarios this offseason, 2 first-round picks, even 3 first-round picks. We've heard all this talk. Masai Ujiri is not going to give Siakam away for nothing because realistically, the Raptors still think that they can contend with the roster that they have. So to me, I don't know how Atlanta gets this deal done unless they offer a ton of future picks. I don't know off the top of my head what their future draft compensation looks like, but this could be another move that does shake up the East even more. Again, a lot of teams have gotten better in the East. The Sixers are kind of just standing pat right now. So they need to monitor the situation and they need to go out and figure their own roster out. But we'll see if a shakeup happens. Let me know what you think down below. Could this deal happen? Do you think this is a good fit for the Pascal Siakams of the world? There was a subsequent report to this saying that if Siakam does get traded, OG Anunoby is going to be looking for $30+ million on his next deal. There's one team in the East named the Philadelphia 76ers who have been talking about a lot of excess cap space going forward after 2024. So, could the Sixers ever end up getting OG Anunoby? Pair him back with Nick Nurse. Could that be a future move down the line? You let me know all your thoughts on that. That is the latest on the NBA Scoop. And again, we are scraping the bottom of the barrel here. There is really nothing else right now. The NBA airwaves are dead, but soon in a couple weeks, the talks will pick up. Training camp will be nearing, and something's going to happen with this Sixers roster. Let me know what you think will happen. Give me your predictions down below in the comment section. As always, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And with that being said, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.